Hello and welcome to BDE Travels in our Camino de Santiago. In today's episode, we're leaving the town of Frómista heading towards Carrión de los Condes. On our way there, we will visit the town of Población de Campos. I meet one of the locals at Revenga de Campos. We contemplate the Iglesia de Santa María la Blanca in Villa Alcázar de Sirga. And we also meet the sculpture of Pablo Bayo. At the end of the day, we make it to Carrión de los Condes. Join us in our walk as we continue our Camino de Santiago and we explore the people, the culture, and the history of Spain. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel as we continue once again on our Camino de Santiago here on BDE Travels. Alright folks, as you're coming into the town of Frómista, you're going to come to this place. They call it the Four Corners. There's a Banco Santander on the left, and there's a tourist information area right up there. When you get here, usually the albergues or the majority of the hotels or albergues are located down this way, down that road. You'll find a lot of hotels and albergues. And if you want to continue on the Camino, what you do is you get to this corner, you cross the street, and you continue down that way. There's a pizza place in the corner there, and there's a pharmacy on that side. But to get out of the town, when you're doing the Camino, you just walk on that way. And hopefully we'll make it out there. The sun is starting to come out, so stay with us on BDE Travels. All right, once again, we're just on the outside of Frómista with a nice little town. I liked it very much. Did you like the town?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff to do in the town, at least food-wise and albergues-wise. It wasn't like a small-sized town, but it wasn't a big town like Pamplona, León, Burgos. Yeah.
How about you? Did you like it, Donna?
Yeah, I liked it. It was very charming, had a lot of churches and stuff.
Okay, so it's interesting. So we're gonna continue from here to the next town. Usually it's around 4.5 kilometers. And once we're there, we'll get our stamp. By the way, you brought your credentials?
I don't think I have them. I don't remember packing them.
What do you mean you don't have them?
What do you mean?
I thought you had them.
No, I don't have them. Do you have them?
I have a bag.
Does Mom have them?
Mom doesn't have them.
What about Annie?
That's just
She doesn't
awkward.
have them. All right, folks, we left our credentials. We have to go back and get credentials somehow. And usually that's a good thing, because now if you lose your credentials while you're in the Camino, what you do is you go back to one of the churches, and usually the churches have the credentials. You can buy them in there and continue with your trek. So remember, you got to have your credentials if you want to stay at any of the albergues. If you don't have your credentials, you cannot stay at the albergues. So we got to go back now and go to the church and see if we can find the credentials. So stay with us here on BDE Travels.
That's embarrassing.
What you say?
That's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
We just forgot the whole point, the Camino. It's you cannot forget your credentials, and we left the credentials.
That's a newbie mistake.
We've been walking this for 19 days now, and then we just forgot our credentials.
19 days, and this is what, our third time?
I know.
All right, let's go that way. Folks, we're approaching the next town, which is Población de Campos, and right now, once you get out of Frómista, it's just pretty much this. Just you're walking along the road. There's an albergue with a restaurant up ahead. Might get a bottle of water here for a second. How's the temperature? Is it nice?
It's like a tad bit chilly. It's a windy day because it almost blew my mask off. Yeah, it's also a really droopy day. It's not raining, but there are only clouds in the sky, and it looks all.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys care or not, but when we went back because of the credential stuff, which is kind of embarrassing, but when we went back, I switched my jacket just because I didn't like the bright neon.
You didn't like the bright neon?
That was my jacket.
Yeah, it was her jacket, by the way.
Oh, well. Here you go.
I see how it is.
So next town, Población de Campos. Stay with us here on BDE Travels. I'm crossing the town of Población de Campos. The girls went up ahead. Right now, just a small town like the other ones, and it's starting to rain. So we'll see what we can do. I'm gonna keep on walking here. And Población de Campos is the next town. Stay with us in BDE Travels. Población de Campos is a very small municipality in the province of Valencia. They have a church and two very small shrines. At the exit of Población de Campos, they got the Hermitage. It's a very small one. It's starting to rain right now. We're going to take a look at it
and see how it goes. And then up in the distance is the church.
This is the Ermita of Nuestra Señora del Socorro. It dates from the 12th and 13th century. I leave this small shrine and I head towards La Iglesia de Santa Maria Magdalena. It is situated in the highest part of the town and it dates from the 16th century. The church is a little bit off ways of the Camino, but from there you get a good view of the city. At the end of town there's a bifurcation.
Well, folks, at the end of Población de Campos, you have two choices. You can either go to the right, which is the variant. It's about 10 kilometers to the town of Villalcázar de Sirga, or you can go to the left, which is shorter, which is the main path, which is only about 8.7 kilometers. But one of them parallels the road, the other one is a little bit more following the river in there. So in Población de Campos, once again, you have a choice. You can either go to the right, go to the left, depending upon what you want to do. If you want to go around the main road, it's on the left. If you want to go and follow the river, it's on the right. One is more scenic, the other one is not. It all depends what you choose. We're going to choose today. We're going to follow along the road, and we're going to continue here on BDE Travels. All right, folks, we left Población de Campos, and now we're getting into Revenga de Campos. Same old. You know, we are on the road now, paralleling the main road, and continuing here on Revenga de Campos on BDE Travels.
One important detail about Revenga de Campos is that they only have 174 people living in the town.
Well, folks, it's starting to rain. Just coming up of the middle of the town, and right now a couple of things to see. They got bodegas, they got church in here, and they got a monument here that a lot of pilgrims take photos of.
We leave the iron sculpture and continue our walk. At this point in time, I highly recommend you staying very close to the walls since there is no sidewalks and you're very close to the road.
Well, folks, once again, still here in between the last town, which had basically nothing, and now we're reaching Villalcázar de Sirga. What are the things to see around, Donna?
There's a town coming up, and since the sun's not out, the sunflowers aren't out, and it's droopy, and it's kind of plain. I like sunflowers, but they're not out.
Frozen thing where like, what is it? The sun's out, like the sky's awake, so I'm awake.
The sky's awake when you're awake. Yeah, me too. It's kind of overcast, and the mood is not that good. How many pilgrims we've seen so far? Because somebody asked us.
About 4.
Wait, no,
Four?
we've seen 2 people walk that were running behind there, but
2 people walking behind us, and there were a couple of cyclists, and that's about it.
That's a fancy word.
Is it?
Yeah,
Really?
I said 2 people were biking, but cycle.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, you know. But not much. Not a lot of people walking that Camino. So
we're walking right alongside the road too. So
yeah, the only thing that you see is a lot of cars going by, but that's about it. Once again, we're approaching Villalcázar de Sirga. They got a really big church up at the top there. I might take a couple of shots to see how it looks. Stay with us here on BDE Travels. All right, we're entering the town of, I can't remember, Villa Sirga. And they have a very impressive church. It's really big, and it looks kind of guttish. I think it's closed. We're gonna go up, and over there in the corner they have a nice restaurant with a pilgrim, right?
Yeah, it smells really good. Like you can smell it all the way from over here.
You can smell the food over here, right?
Yeah.
It's because we're hungry.
The cyclists were there too.
I can hear the bells. The cyclists are over there, right?
Yeah, I like that word.
Oh.
It makes you sound fancy.
Ooh, this is a big church. It's called the Colegiata de Santa Maria la Blanca. So we'll give you more updates on that.
The Monumental Church of Santa Maria la Blanca is of a Romantic transition construction dated from the 13th century. At this point in the Camino, we come across Pablo Payo. He was the owner of the bar that you see right behind him.
Dana, you're gonna get wet.
At this time, we reached the town of Carrión de los Condes, a town with a medieval character. At one point in time, it had 12 churches and several hospitals.
All right, folks, the girls, once again, they went a little bit up ahead. We're reaching Carrión de los Condes now. It's around 3 in the afternoon. Overcast skies. It's been nice though. We've had the temperature around 68, 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not bad. So today we're gonna find a place here in Carrión de los Condes. If not, then we'll have to drive back to Frómista and then take another ride in the morning and continue our Camino. There's plenty of things to do in Carrión de los Condes. Plenty of things to do in Carrión de los Condes. So they have a monastery, very famous monastery. So hopefully we'll get a chance to take a look at that, and they have a lot of churches in Carrión de los Condes. So this is one of the places that I highly recommend to make a stop besides Frómista. So Frómista, Carrión de los Condes are two places that you want to stop because they have a lot of things to do, and they have more restaurants, more albergues. So stay with us here in BDE Travels. We're reaching Carrión de los Condes around 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Keep on traveling with us. All right, we're starting to get inside the Carrión de los Condes, and the first thing you come across is albergue, or the Monastery de Santa Clara, and it's an albergue also. Very nice. Take a look at it. All right, reaching the town, there's a very famous church and another statue that people stop and take a look at when they get to Carrión de los Condes. Once again, this town is very interesting. I mean, it has a lot of church and has a lot of history. Like I mentioned before, they had a monastery called San Solio. We're going to be looking at that. And this is Iglesia de Santa María del Camino, what we're going to take a look at now. Well, folks, at the church, we have no idea where to go because right now the markers are not that clear. I saw a yellow arrow over there next to the church, but then that's about it. Have you seen anything, Amaris?
No. On the fountain thing, I think that's what you were talking about, but it's like the arrow, it's just like a line and you can't tell which way the arrow is pointing.
Right.
Yeah.
So we might have to ask a local. That's something that happens every now and then.
I mean, well, like there is a shop that has like, it's like a shop for like peregrinos, and it has like an arrow.
That's the arrow.
Wait, look, there's an arrow over there. But
You see an arrow?
Where?
It's like a sign though. Not...
All right, let's take a look if we're going the right way then. Well, like I said, just talk to the locals and say Camino, and they'll point you in the right direction. Let's see, we're almost getting to the end. We're gonna try to get to the Monastery de San Solio, which is at the end of town, and from there then we'll call it for today. And tomorrow we got 17 kilometers more to go to the next town. So we'll see how that goes. What?
On the floor, there's also, there was like this, the seashell.
Oh, they got the seashells in the floor? Oh, that's right. Yes. So that's another way you know if you're in the Camino or not. Well, it looks like further down the road they have a museum at the Iglesia de Santiago. Right now it's closed, but we're kind of making our way through the streets here. Kind of interesting. Well, doesn't lead anywhere, so we gotta go back.
This is the Benedictine Monastery of San Solio. It housed many councils and courts in the middle of the 11th century. It was initially known as San Juan de la Puente, and there are archaeological documents that date the monastery to at least the year 1047 or 1051.
Well, folks, something that is worth mentioning about Real Monasterio de San Solio is that you can do a tour inside. They got different hours. It's a very, very nice place to go and visit. If you're staying at the hotel, they actually have a hotel called Parador Monasterio San Solio. It's a little bit of an expensive side. I think rooms are 84 euros. But if you're staying there, you can actually go inside and do a tour of the monasterio, the monastery. It is impressive if you have a chance. If not, what you do is you walk outside and you come along on the route of the Camino de Santiago. When you're on the route, and you're going to see this entrance behind me, right over there. And they do tours. I think it's 250 euro for if you got the Peregrino credential. But it's one of the gems in the Camino that you'll find. So once again, Monasterio San Solio. They did some archaeological discoveries around 2017, and they actually found that the building is actually bigger than it is right now. So it's worth it to see it. So if you have a chance, if you have the time, you stay in Carrión de los Condes at the end of the town. You're going to come to Monasterio San Solio, and once again, you have to come and see it.
And from these beautiful views of the Monastery of San Solio, we say goodbye until our next episode here on BDE Travels and the Camino de Santiago. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. In our next episode, we leave the town of Carrión de los Condes to cross Calzadilla de la Cuesta and to arrive at our final destination of Le Digos. Stay tuned as we give you a little bit of the behind the scenes of BDE Travels.
Hi, Dana. So how's the Camino going for you?
Terrible.
Why?
I hate it. Not that I hate it. That sounds.
She's so sad.
That sounds a bit rude.
It does sound really rude.
But the sunflowers aren't out, and I'm sad.
Yeah, the sunflowers are very droopy since it was a very droopy day and stuff. And Dad right now he's doing the. Wait, how do you do this? 1, 2, 3. Okay, there you go.
They're droopy, so I'm droopy.
He's flying the drone right now. Okay guys, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm not wearing Camino clothes, typical Camino clothes. I'm wearing jeans and shoes. So it's because we were gonna be staying in Pamplona and we can't go back to the US for now because we're staying here. But yeah, this is my outfit for the day. We have to pack what you have to pack. Yeah, it works.